Good morning, dolls, and welcome to Little Gretchen's workshop. So today I just want to do a quick acknowledgement. I just want to thank each and every one of you dolls, all of you all who have sent packages and gifts and supplies and things to help me along to prepare for Marguerite and Sadi's wedding. It has meant so much. This has been so absolutely incredible. I mean, I had no idea that you dolls were this invested in the story and in making sure Marguerite and Sadi's wedding was a success. I just appreciate it so much, and I'm trying to work together to incorporate as many things as possible in the ceremony and in the stories. But I just want you to know how much it has meant to me and what it has meant to my channel. Just to help supply me with the things that I need to continue to produce content for you dolls every week. And I appreciate you all for being here with me every week, showing up so consistently, being so kind, the kind words, the encouragement, the letters, the emails, the packages to my P.O. box. It has just been absolutely incredible. I just want to just say thank you to those of you who have been supporting me on my Buy Me a Coffee account, just the donations and things. It has been really, really great. And I will be sharing something I actually purchased with the collection from my Buy Me a Coffee account. Oh, and I also want to just, as a reminder, for anyone who is interested, the Little Gretchen's Workshop, What Are You Keeping That For mugs are available. The link is in the description. At the end of the video, it's in the description. And I am also wearing the What Are You Keeping That For t-shirt. The same type of a design is on it. And if anybody's interested as far as sizing, the one I'm wearing is like what they call a 2X. So if that helps you at all with size, and I wanted to share that as well. But I will be sharing another package that I got from my P.O. box today on the channel. But, I just want you dolls to know that I appreciate everything you do. I literally am like, how is this possible? You all make me feel like I'm spoiled, like you are just, yeah, you all spoil me. And your kindness does not go unnoticed. But again, I'm going to continue to work to make Little Gretchen's Workshop the best that I can make it to be, and that you continue to give you all a pleasant and enjoyable experience. So let me go ahead and get to the feature video. Just want you dolls to know. Thank you. So dolls, this package comes to me straight from my post office box, and it actually is a gift from my dear friend Kim G. Kim, I just appreciate you. You're so kind. You're always sharing something so thoughtful. And I see you sent an envelope with a letter that I'm not going to open on camera, but you also sent a card. And I think this is so cute. Doll, she customized the card by putting a suit on the giraffe. I thought that was cute and really fitting for this type of video. I glanced at the beginning of the card and I could see it was going to make me emotional, so I'll save that until after this video is over. Kim also sent me this really cool vintage, like ledger type book. It looks like she made it almost like in a scrapbook style, where I can put things in the pockets. I can actually add things to the ledger, write notes. It's really, really cute, very vintage, very retro. Thank you, Kim. I really appreciate the time and effort it took you to make or create something like this for me. I'll always cherish this among my things. Thank you so much. So, dolls, as I opened the box, I realized that it was filled with fabric, and that's why I said the suit on the giraffe was so fitting. Look at all these lovely small print cottons. Absolutely wonderful and right on time. I have so many dolls to dress, and it just gives me so much variety for their outfits and all the different things that I need to create, so that I don't end up having everybody with the same outfit on, and that means so much. Kim, this is truly, truly appreciated. So, dolls, today we're going to start dressing the guests for the wedding. Now, this is a doll that I bought a while back. He actually was what I consider a doll rescue. He had a really unusual, odd-shaped body. So here are a couple quick clips of what he looked like before I rescued him. and remade his body. He was a really nice doll, but he needed help. And not only did I fix his body, I actually found him a wife. And she's truly beautiful as well, a very rare find. I just get tickled looking at these dolls. They're so beautiful. I wish I'd had dolls like this when I was a little girl. And here's another beautiful porcelain doll. I'm going to make her the mother-in-law or the grandmother. So I found her in a bundle of parts, so she's definitely a rescue as well. Now she's actually the grandmother of the group, so I'm going to make her look a little bit more aged. Now you can also see that these two dolls actually had shoes on as a part of their legs. Now the grandmother doll has very nice legs, but she does not have shoes on, so I will have to create them with the milliput. Now I do have this other mass-produced doll that I would like to be a guest at the wedding, but he's going to need some major reconstruction. You can see here he has a nice head and arms, but this hair is going to have to go, and I'm definitely going to have to restructure his body. The arms and proportion of his torso is just really not balanced. He has nice feet, but the white shoes have to go. Now this cute little guy is a part of the bundle of items that I purchased at an estate sale last summer. He's really, really nice. I decided not to change anything about his clothes, but I do think I'm going to change his hair a little bit. And you see his pants are really nice. Look at his suspenders. They're actually made from little tiny dress hooks. So I think that's really cute. Now, although I need to dress all three of my beautiful porcelain dolls, I'm going to start with the father. So I pulled out all of the different fabric options that I had to determine which one I wanted to use for his outfit. Now here are all my suspenders. I will leave a link in the description for when I made those. But I want to show you the scissors that I bought with some of my donations from my Buy Me a Coffee account. They're Guggenheim scissors. Now this is not a sponsored video. I just think a good pair of sharp scissors will help me in my doll making and doll dressing process. Between my new scissors and my tiny glue nozzle, I'm feeling really official at this point. So I cut off a manageable size piece of fabric so I could start working on his pants. I did have the selvage edge to trim off. Now, after I got that cut, I looked at the fabric to determine how big the piece needed to be for each leg of his pants. Now, I definitely had to make it wide enough so that when I glued it together and turned it inside out, it would be able to fit over his shoes. Now, pants during those times fit men nicely. I don't want the pants to be really narrow like skinny jeans or leggings, but I do want them to be neat. I don't want them to be baggy type pants. So I'm trying to cut it so that the lines will line up neatly. I don't want the squares or the plaid to be cut in a way that the lines don't line up. So I went ahead and split the fabric into two pieces and then folded it again to make sure that it fit over his leg and allowed enough to go around his shoes. And then I added a little glue and then mashed the seam down to actually create a hem at the bottom of the fabric. Definitely allow your hems to dry before you glue the inside seam. Now I am using Aleene's Tacky Glue, which is my favorite for making doll clothes. And after you glue the two sides of the inside seam, you definitely want to allow it to dry before you try to turn it right side out. And here I'm just trimming a few strings, and this is what it looks like when it's done. And then I went on to do the second leg of the pants. Now, to distract myself from handling them, I'm going to go on and start working on the vest. Now, I'm not going to make a jacket for his outfit. I just want him to have on like a shirt, a vest, and pants. So I'm cutting out the shape to the vest. Now, I have had some of you ask me about whether I use patterns. But I don't. I just more or less cut the pieces into the shapes of the garment that I want to fit the doll. And pretty much my dolls are different kind of shapes and sizes, so everybody has to have a custom outfit. None of their bodies are just uniform, so I definitely have to make the garment specifically for that doll. And basically I just cut the pieces to the shape of the garment that I want it to be and in the size and shape that will fit around the contour of the doll's body. Now these are the two pieces that I cut to make the front of the vest, and then I made my little snips and then turned the snips down so that I'll have a nice finished edge for when I actually glue it to the doll's body. Now these clothes will not be removable. they're going to fit, and I'm going to glue them directly to him. Now here I am again, just folding down those edges to make the edges to the vest smooth, neat, and finished. And those are to make sure that the turned or curved areas fit nicely. So now you can see I have two halves, and when I glue them to the front of his outfit, all of the edges will be finished really nice and neat. There'll be no frayed parts on it. And now you can see I have two sides to the front of the vest. All of the edges are finished. So when I put them on him, it'll be nice and neat, and there are no raw seams. Now let's go back to our pants. The pants are nice and dry. The inside seam is dry, so I'm turning them right side out. And I am using my tiny precision tweezers to pull them out. Now you don't want to puncture the fabric, but I'm just using it to just pull on those little bits of fabric to pull it all the way through. And now that I've got it right side out, I'm going ahead and fitting it on my doll. Now I almost didn't make it. These are a pretty slim fit for him. The leg is a little bit narrower than I anticipated, but I think it'll still work for him. Now that his pants are ready, let's go ahead and work on the back of the vest. And I definitely didn't want to use two pieces. I actually just cut it into one piece, but I folded it in half before I cut the sleeve and the neck area out so both sides would match. So I did the same thing, cutting the snips around the part that will go around the sleeve. And after looking at how nice the fit would be, I realized I really don't need to make a whole shirt. I'm only doing sleeves, a front, and a collar. And actually the back of the vest will cover up the rest of his body, so a full shirt is not necessary for him. So I'm cutting out the sleeves in very similar shape that I did when I was making the pant leg, except it's going to be shorter because it's going to fit on his arm. And I did cut two pieces, gluing that inside seam down, and I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did with the pants, and then I allowed it time to dry as well. Now here I'm trying to determine how big the piece of fabric needs to be the front of his shirt. Now I'm looking at the back of it with the vest and making sure that I'll be able to camouflage all of the sleeve behind the vest so that I won't have to make a back to the shirt. Now here I am sizing the fabric, cutting the little snip, and after cutting the snips around the sleeve, I split the fabric down the center. Now I've got two halves to be the front of his shirt, and I'm adding glue to the armhole areas so I can fold it down where the snips are, so it'll fit neatly on top of the sleeve. Now here I'm showing I have both of the sleeves on his body, and see how they come up pretty high on his back, so you won't have any gapping between the area of where the vest is and where the sleeve is. You won't notice that there's nothing on the back, or that he doesn't have a back to his shirt, but he has a full front of his shirt. And you see these are the two sides to the front, and I fitted them together, and then I folded down the edges where I snipped the seams to fit neatly around the arm opening. Now I did add glue down the front of that center seam so that it will fold down nicely, and the two halves match really nice, and I'm going to do an overlap. And here I'm adding glue to that sleeve area that has been folded down on top of the snips, and I'm laying it right on top of the sleeve to create a nice, smooth, neat finish on his shoulder. Now after making sure everything is nice and neat around his shoulder, and I glued down the sides under his arm, I added a bead of glue down the center so that the shirt would close neatly. Now here I'm letting you see from another angle. I'm adding glue to his side under his arm to make sure the shirt fits neatly in that area. So now let me turn him around so you can see how neat the fit is. So in this next frame, I'm adding the collar, which was just a piece of fabric folded in half, and the glue was allowed to seep through. When it was dry, I cut the little part, snipped it at an angle so that it would look like a collar. I did have another thinner piece that I used to make the placket, or the part down the front where the buttons will rest, and just glued it down the center of the shirt. Now when it came to finishing the sleeves, I add a little glue under the inside of the sleeve and kind of pinch it so that it will pleat up. I'm not real specific as to where I put the pleats, but I just want it to fit neat. I don't want it to be like a bell sleeve. And I do that on both sides. And after I allow it to set, I add a really thin strip around that portion to create a cuff. Now you could definitely do something dramatic like a French cuff, but I didn't do that. This is a very, very simple cuff, just a very thin strip that I created that was similar to the collar. And I did add the glue all the way around so that when I place my fabric, I can finish it all in one sweep. And I simply took that little thin piece of fabric and wrapped it all the way around the wrist on top of the glue. And I held it in place and trimmed off the excess and held it until I felt like the glue began to set. And now you can see how nice and neat that sleeve is, or the cuff is. Now that the collar, the sleeves, and the cuff are on, I went on to add the vest to the back and make sure I positioned it to cover up everything. And the only thing you'll be able to see is the sleeves, so no one knows that his shirt doesn't have a back. Now I brought the sides of the vest around, put glue on the edges, and again I bonded it right to the sleeves of the shirt. So I added the glue all the way around the perimeter of the edges of the vest. Now I want you to watch as I place it right at the base of the neck of the collar, pressed it into the back, up across the shoulders, around the sides, and held everything in place to make sure it's set before I did too much manipulation. You just kind of hold it and allow all the sides to catch. And after the back was smooth and in place, I made sure the sides and the shoulders were secure. Now you can see at this stage that the back and the sides of the vest are secure. You can't see that he only has on a shirt. Now it's time to go ahead and add the front finishing pieces. So there are two sides to the vest. So I'm going to start on one side, and you want to make sure it overlaps so that under his arm looks neat and finished. And when you put the second piece on, everything is neat and finished as well. Now, I usually make the shoulder tabs for the front of the vest a little bit longer because I'm going to trim them, but then I turn it down because it's going to cover and camouflage the frayed end of the back part. So here I am adding the glue, and you can see I really work to smooth that part on the top so that there's no frays on the shoulders. And both pieces are in place. The front is covered, the part that I didn't hem, and I'm adding the collar really neatly, just taking my time because you want the collar to kind of sit a little bit on top of the vest. And here's a quick glimpse of him without his collar, and here it is with his collar glued in place. Now, although I had made suspenders and showed them in the beginning, I didn't use it because his vest covers everything up, but I am adding those little clay buttons that I made in a previous video, and they are included in the suspender video. And here he is with his nice bright red tie. You can see his vest is on. Everything looks really, really neat. And I'm really pleased with his overall outfit. Now at this point, I definitely can later on make him a coordinating jacket or a contrasting jacket. But right now at this point, I think this looks fine for him as a wedding guest. And I did add buttons to the cuffs of his sleeves. And as you can see, he has really nice feet and he can stand on his own unsupported in any dollhouse setting, which is very important to me. Now I only have 6 more guests to dress. Now, if you've enjoyed this video today and want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. And always look for me on Mondays and Wednesdays after 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also let me know in the comments what you like most about the video. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Little Gretchen's Workshop. Bye-bye now, dolls.